Hello and welcome to the Let's Talk Football channel. Today we've got a Stoke review and preview. But before we get into anything, I'm just going to let Ethan run through all the things we're going to be talking about today.
Right, so in the Stoke review slash preview today, we are going to be reviewing the Nottingham Forest game against Stoke, which ended in a 1-1 draw. Then the player ratings for that game. Then we're going to go on the preview for Stoke versus QPR, with Stoke being at home. And then we're going to have the last four games for both teams, then our preferred lineups, and the score prediction. And then since today, or since you'll be watching this yesterday, or whenever, we're going to have our quick thoughts on the Carabao Cup final.
Yeah.
With Spurs and Man City. With Man City taking a 1-0 win with Laporte.
Yeah. Alright then, so we'll go straight into it then, starting off with a review of Nottingham Forest 1, Stoke 1. So just quickly, before we go into the player ratings, quick thoughts on that game, Ethan, as a whole?
Yeah, to be fair, I think we should have won it. Rami Matanda getting the goal. Brilliant goal, to be fair, from him. And a needed goal for himself to boost his confidence up, because in the recent games he's played, he's been awful, to be honest, but I think that's due to confidence as well. And this was his first start since November, I'm pretty sure. So good to get a goal, but everyone's saying they want him back for another season, like sign him on a permanent. Well, he's only scored one goal. Why?
Yeah.
But the goal was very sloppy that we conceded. Very, very, very sloppy. And that's why I thought we should have won. But sloppy defending yet again, causing us 3 points.
Yeah. I'd say personally that overall it's just poor again from Stoke as usual. To be fair. Let's not cover it up. I think out of the last 28 games, I think the stat is, out of the last 28 games, we've only won 6. So let's not be surprised that we got a draw, because we clearly can't win. So I'd say overall poor result. Wasn't really good enough. Matondo's goal was I thought a bit of a fluke. Like it's an easy opportunity. Even the hit wasn't that convincing, but it's just so close. You can't really mess up.
As well.
Yeah. So I'd actually say more than anything that all the praise for that goal should go to Tam, because it's a brilliant ball on the left from him. Yeah. So defensively poor again. Two main culprits for that goal is Danny Bat and Smith, because they both the ball seems to go in between both of them. I think it comes off Smith's head. It's just like a lack of awareness. Like I don't know what we're doing, but there's a lack of a reaction, a lack of awareness. Really embarrassing defending. So but we'll get into it a bit more now, going into the player rating. So I'll let you start with yours.
So Davies in goal yet again, which was, I think, the right decision, since Angus Gunn's been poor recently. Back in net, but no clean sheet this time, which was obviously due to the error. But maybe he could have saved the goal, I don't know. I'm going to give him a 6 anyway. Smith, poor from him with the defensive duty of the goal. Like you said, lack of awareness. But he did get in some useful positions going forward. But really, I thought he had poor delivery today, I think. But I'm going to give him a 5. Slap bang in the middle. Going on to the left back, Norrington Davies. Apparently lucky not to be punished when he was grabbing. Then he was decent going forward, particularly in the second half. So other than that, I'll give him a 6. Suter rush of blood when he tried to nip in front of grabbing in the first half. and there's a couple of important touches, but other than that, nothing of his fault. Coming back from his one match ban of his red card, I'll give it a 6. Going on to Danny Bart, he won't want to watch Graben's goal. Just yet again, lack of awareness between Smith and Bat. And we've always said he's been poor on the ball. He just likes to whack it up. First minute, he literally whacked it up. And it just shows he's not confident. And this is why we want Chester in, not Bat. So I'm gonna give him a 4. Timon, one of his better games, and I think he's not a fullback. He's a winger. I think nice low early cross for the opening goal to Rami Matondo, and he showed pace on the left wing, which was nice to see. So I'm going to give him a 7. Played really well today, on Saturday. So moving on to Mikel. I think he played well. Mikel did, trying to move the ball forward and ball around to nit like some Stoke attacks going through. But I think at the end of the day, there's no attacking spark as much since Nick Powell wasn't there. Like obviously Campbell wasn't there, and I think we're just lacking that goal threat, to be honest. Even though we did score today, but I think we're still lacking the goal threat. Moving on to Thompson. Batting average performance, to be honest. I think did have some neat one-touch stuff at times, but I just think he's just average, to be fair, and shouldn't be playing for Stoke. He should be where he was before at Blackpool. That's where he belongs, to be fair. Bit harsh that is, but that's my opinion. I'm going to give him a 5. It's quite generous, but I'm going to give him a 5. Klukas, he got in some decent positions on the break as he continued to get over his injury. And I do say this because his injury is a really, really harsh one. And it got him took out for several months. So played decent, not a brilliant, but he played okay. I'll give him a 6. Fletcher took like a lot of knocks today. Thought he played okay. And apparently he was limping off.
Yeah.
On the hour mark, which is not great to see.
Was. Yeah.
Which means we haven't got a good striker now at the moment, which possibly could mean next game against QPR play Powell up front, which isn't good because when Powell's up front we don't score. So great. I'll give him a 6 though. Moving on then, Matondo, who got in the right area for the goal. I thought in the first half he played really well. To be fair, he actually got past people this time.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, and he tried to deliver some balls into the box, good balls as well. I'm going to give him an 8. Played really well. I thought Matondo did. And that's the start 11. Moving on though to the substitutes with 2 one from Brown going on for Fletcher in the 60th minute, who was obviously injured. I think he took really long to find his feet on the pitch, to be fair. In this game, I don't know why, because he's been in decent form with some goals and all that, but there's nothing really he could do, to be fair. I mean, half an hour is a decent amount of time to do something, but he didn't do anything, to be fair. But I'll give him a 6. wiped out. But other than that, nothing really to say. So I'll give him a 5.
Yeah.
And that's it for the player races from me.
Yeah. All right then. So I'll just go through mine then. Davies, I didn't think he had a particularly bad game. I didn't think he was amazing or anything. He didn't really get tested that much. I'll give him a 6. Norrington Davies, he's got to stop being so short-tempered at times. Like he's got to cut that out of his game a little bit because it's just he needs to be a bit more mature than that. But he was good going forward like he usually is, and it wasn't a bad game for him. So I'll give him a 6. Smith, obviously him and Bats with that terrible defensive area, and for me, he's a defender, so when he messes up that badly, I can't really give him a high rating, and it's that poor as well, so I'm going to give him a 3. Suter was alright, didn't think he didn't blow me away or anything, but he was just okay in my opinion. Didn't really do too much wrong, but so I'll give him a 6. Danny Bat, again, it's just him and Smith just messed up at the back, and when we play Danny Bat, we don't have 4 at the back, we have 3. So we basically go down to 10 men. And that's the issue with playing Danny Bat. I think it's like a waste of space, really. It's just a body for the sake of putting a body on the pitch. It's not really for anything else. So, poor error as well. So, 2. John Ubi McCall, he's decent at times, but he does these odd few sloppy passes, like he loses a bit of concentration at times, which to me strikes of something, because he knows it's going to be a couple of more seasons and then he's going to retire. And I feel like in the prime of his career, he would never lose any concentration, but I think there's a couple of times with us where he has a lapse of concentration, because for him, this is just, let's just enjoy myself before I retire. And and he is good, but that's the only issue with him, is he's not always got exactly the right mentality, because he is winding down and relaxing a bit more of his career. But I'll give him a 6.
Would you want to keep him for the next season?
Due
to his mentality.
Depends what the money situation's like, because if we've got a bit, some money that we can spend, even if it's not a lot, then no, I wouldn't bother, to be honest. But if we've literally got barely anything and we can only chuck a bit of money at one signing, then that probably needs to be a striker or a defender, maybe, you might argue. So maybe you do just keep him, but I just want to see Joe Allen back, to be honest, instead of him or something like that, because he's got more of the right mentality.
And I think Clucas and Allen have a good partnership in midfield as well.
Yeah, that's true. Simon, he was good. Good assist for Matondo's goal. That is part of the reason why I defended him in the last Stoke review/preview, because he does show moments of being useful on the wing, and thankfully he sort of proved that against Nottingham Forest, and got a good assist. Created a chance for Matondo, which you really can't miss. So for that, I'll give him a 7. Solid performance. Matondo himself got a couple of really impressive runs where he's sort of weaving in between 4 or 5 players. So that was quite good to see. And obviously he did score. So solid performance really from him. So I'll give him an 8, just because I liked the fact that he showed more quality against Nottingham Forest than he ever has done since he's been here. So yeah, I'll give him an 8. Jordan Thompson, not good enough as a midfielder. Doesn't really bring any skill or quality. He's not really effective. He's not very useful. I'll just give him a 5. But he's just just seems to give either an average performance or a poor one. But I'm just going to give him a 5. We need somebody else in midfield, really. Klukas, I thought he was decent. Seems to slowly be getting back into it. Seems to be looking quite good, getting better. But I wouldn't say he had the most amazing performance. I'll give him a 6. And then finally for the starting 11, Fletcher up top. He tried to do something, but I mean, he struggled and then he got that injury. But I thought he was alright, didn't really do anything wrong, so I'll give him a 6. And then quickly just doing the 2 subs. Jacob Brown on for Stephen Fletcher. Brown didn't really show anything, didn't really get into the game. Now, in my opinion, I know Ethan was saying, he's got like a couple of goals and he's been on better form, but for me, there's no real surprise that he didn't show anything because, in my opinion, he isn't a very good player. So I wasn't really surprised that he didn't show anything. He didn't really get into the game, and I just don't think he's very effective up top for us. And I'm just getting fed up, to be honest, of the same poor players getting chances time and time again. So but he's only come on with half an hour, so I'll just give him a standard 5. Then Robbie Matondo's come off. Sam Vokes has come on. Sam Vokes didn't show anything, but then he's been given barely any time, so I'd have to give him a 5 as well. So they're the player ratings. So then we'll move on to Stoke's next game, which is against QPR, which is on Saturday, that game. 3 o'clock kickoff as usual. And we'll just quickly go through the last 4 games for both teams, starting with Stoke since they are the home side for this one. So Stoke went away to Birmingham, lost 2-0. Stoke were at home against Preston, drew 0-0. Stoke were at home against Coventry, lost 3-2. And Stoke away against Nottingham Forest drew 1-1. So as you can see, out of Stoke's last 4 games, they've got 2 draws and 2 losses. The main thing to pick out from the last 4, which sort of sums up our season, is where are the wins? Where are the wins at?
Yeah.
Then looking at QPR, they went away to Rotherham and lost 3-1. Then they were at home against Middlesbrough. Away against Middlesbrough, and got a very good 2-1 win. And then they went away to Swansea and got a very impressive 1-0 win. And then they were at home against Norwich and lost 3-1, but that's Norwich. So looking at the last 4 games anyway, for QPR, they've got 2 wins and 2 losses. So not too bad. But there are the last 4 games for both sides, just to give you an idea of what this one could look like. So, your preferred lineup for this game against QPR then, Ethan?
So I'm going to go with Davies in goal, since he's been solid in recent times. Then I'm going to go left back, Norrington Davies. My 2 centre backs, Suter and Chester if he's injured, but if not, I want to see Kieran Coates come in. So I think he's a really good centre back, to be fair.
Well, to be fair, I said that weeks ago, didn't I, instead of Bat. So
yeah. Then I'll go right back with Smith. Then I'm going to go 4-3-3. I'm going to have, I think Allen's injured, isn't he?
Yeah.
Picked up from Wales, isn't he?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Odin Mikel, Klukas and Powell. Then I'm going to go with left wing Timon, right wing Matondo, and Fletcher up front if he's fit enough.
Yeah. All right, fair enough then. My starting 11, 4-3-3 as well. In goal, Davies. Left back, Norrington Davies. Right back, Tommy Smith. Two centre backs of Suter and Coates. Then three in midfield of Clucas, John Obi Mikel and Powell. Left wing Timon. Right wing Matondo. Up front Fletcher. So pretty much in complete agreement with what the starting lineup should be. Whether Michael O'Neill will agree with us, that is a completely different thing, but we'll see. But then, just finally, on this game against QPR, your score prediction for this one?
I think since QPR are in decent form, picking up a 2-1 win against Middlesbrough and a 1-0 win against Swansea, I think they're going to lose 2-0.
All right, I'm going to say 2-1 to QPR. I think we'll take the lead and then we'll just bottle it. But I'll go 2-1 QPR. So then,
Obviously, we want Stoke win, obviously, but it's just it's like
let's be honest. We shouldn't really need to explain why we've predicted a loss if you see how Stoke have been recently. Obviously we want Stoke to win, but there's no point just every week going
just lying about your prediction.
Going because it's Stoke, we'll get a cheeky 1-0. Because it's Stoke, we'll win again. There's no point really. If you want to be realistic, so
be realistic, man.
Exactly, yeah. So this is the final thing. No, this is going to be very brief. It's not going to be a big thing, but we thought we'd mention it briefly because it was a Carabao Cup final. So obviously, Man City took on Tottenham at Wembley, a Carabao Cup final. Very nice to see as well. All the fans, 2,000 fans from each team were allowed in. So they filled in one half of the stadium. And I thought it was really nice to see the fans in there creating a bit of an atmosphere, hearing all that noise again instead of that artificial crowd noise or whatever. So that was nice, hearing that roar for when somebody gets a corner and all that stuff. So that was good. It's nice to see fans enjoying themselves. So that's just one quick thing on it. But Man City did get a 1-0 win through a header from Laporte, which happened in the last 10 minutes. So, what did you think of that then?
To be honest, I think it was just a dominant performance by Man City with obviously getting 63% possession to Tottenham's 37%. I think Tottenham were really poor attackingly, but defensively they were decent and they conceded 1 to Man City. But attackingly they were woeful, honestly. 2 shots, 1 on target. And they're supposed to be trying to get Champions League spot. Shocking, I think. And Man City just dominating. I think to watch a Carabao Cup final and for a neutral, it was a boring game. It was such a boring game. Just Man City dominating.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, and Tottenham just not attacking.
Yeah.
And to be fair though, Ryan Mason, I hope he gets a few good results because he does deserve them for the casualties and injuries he's had as a player, but turning into a manager at the age of 29, which is amazing. 29 and managing Tottenham, that's crazy.
Yeah.
There's nothing really to say about the game.
Yeah. To be fair,
Man City.
To be fair with this, it is only meant to be just a very brief review from both. To be fair,
yeah.
But I'd say personally, in my opinion, firstly I'll say the header from Laporte was a really nice header into the corner.
Yeah.
But first 30, 35 minutes, Man City were all over Tottenham, creating loads of chances. But I think obviously Man City did dominate the game anyway, generally. But I think the performance that Tottenham put in was nothing short of a disgrace. because, and I say that simply because we all know Tottenham's situations with trophies. This was a chance to get, a first proper trophy, and when it's something that means so much, especially for Tottenham, and your team puts in that performance where Kane's not even getting a single shot off, it's a disgrace.
Exactly.
It's an absolute disgrace, and I think I don't like how Tottenham were, just sitting in their own half, not breaking forward properly. The midfield wasn't as effective, but then why would it be? Because for some reason Mason's decided to start Winks, which I don't really understand that, because we all know that he lost any sort of potential that he would have had a bit ago. But then you've got Bailon coming on later on in the game when he's getting asked to do a lot with not as much time against an incredible side. So I thought that was a bit unfair to expect Bale to do too much when nobody can even get the ball up to the front three in the first place. What is Son? What's Son, Kane, Lucas Moura / Bale meant to do when they can't even get given the ball by the midfield because Tottenham are constantly sat in their own box? It's just ridiculous. And I think Tottenham have missed out on what would have been a glorious opportunity for them. It's another opportunity for Arsenal fans to have some petty celebration. Because they're doing absolutely nothing with their season, so they need anything they get. So don't get me wrong, they will fully celebrate that. Man City got a 1-0 win. Saying that, wouldn't say it was a brilliant win again for Man City, just because you would have expected them to beat Tottenham more convincingly, considering the form that Tottenham are in, and the quality. There is a quality difference even on paper. But Luke, Tottenham have come out Man City have come out victorious. They've got another cup again, and they do seem to specialise in winning that Carabao Cup. But
certainly so.
Yeah, I think I didn't agree with some of the subs. I will say either from Mason. Just quickly, I will say I didn't like the fact that he brings off Lo Celso to bring on Sissoko. Negative. That's negative when it's 0-0.
No.
It's negative. What you seriously holding on for penalties in a final?
Exactly.
When your fans are there. I mean that's ridiculous. And then you brought Bergwijn on with in the 89th minute or something like that, and it's just like it's too late now. It's too late now. What's he meant to do now?
Yeah.
So I thought he could have got it a bit better tactically today. Saying that though, he's only had 2 managerial games now, obviously, in his whole career. Obviously, this is his first time he's been put in this position against Guardiola, who's had I can't remember how many games it was, but
I'm pretty sure it was 567 or
something like that. Yeah. So, but yeah, Luke, Tottenham. If you're a Tottenham fan, you'll be disappointed. They should have delivered more because they know how much that means for Tottenham because of their trophy cabinet being bare. But unfortunately for Tottenham fans, they've missed out on this opportunity. So I will just say, unlucky Tottenham fans, I do feel for you because I know how frustrating that must feel, especially when you've lost to a performance like that where you're just sitting in your own half. So, hopefully you can come back and win something next season. And I think as well it did show as well how upsetting it was when you see Son crying and stuff like that as well. At the end of the game, I think Son and Kane need to leave because they're not going to achieve anything there. But congratulations to Man City. They've won another cup. So I think fair play to them. Good day out for Man City fans. That's all there is really to say on that Carabao Cup final. So that is everything for today's podcast. The next podcast will be the Champions League, Champions League review and Champions League review. You'll have, Europa League review because Champions League and Europa League is back this week. And then obviously Stoke isn't until next week because there's no midweek game for Stoke this time round. And obviously there is the usual Premier League show which will come towards the end of the week. But midweek there is that Champions League, and the Europa League stuff like we would usually do. But thank you for all the support, and we hoped you enjoyed listening to this because we enjoyed making it. If you did enjoy listening to this, then please like and subscribe. If you've got any thoughts, suggestions, ideas, etc., then or tips, put it in the comment section down below, and I'll let Ethan add something if he wants to before we go.
Yeah, we're going on to 200 subscribers soon. Just keep subscribing and liking the videos and all that jazz. I mean, it's free at the end of the day, and with the Carabao Cup, I think Harry Kane will leave this summer if anyone wants to put a bid in for him. And congratulations to Man City, who have, of course, won the Carabao Cup.
Yeah, and certainly, congratulations to Man City. But that is all for this one then, and we'll see you in the next one.
In a bit.